It's Friday, television family. Weekend's almost here. In fact, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can see the weekend from here, but I'm 6'3". I can see the weekend from wherever I want to. It's the 14th day of November, 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. Very mild. It's 46 degrees. Our normal high is 45. It's going to be a very mild day today. Tomorrow, Saturday the 15th, we could set a new record high. Very warm temperatures for this time of the year and a little on the wet side. I was surprised when I checked the stats up at Pangborn yesterday that we only got 4/100ths of an inch of rain. Thought we got more than that, but that's at Pangborn. Down here in the big city, kind of felt like we got a little bit more. And we could see some raindrops. They could pop in and out. There's no question about that. But the big temperature, the big story this weekend, going to be very warm everywhere. Even the mountain passes aren't going to get any snow, even though normally this time of the year, when we have rain in the valley, we have snow in the upper elevations. Not really the case. Forecast details are coming up. Busy day in the bullpen. Newsroom, lots going on. We'll get you the news. Sports, lots going on there. How do the local teams do in Yakima in the small school state tournament? I'll let you know. I'll let you know right now that Manson, which is going for 3 state championships in a row, fell a little short. Still another good year for the Trojans. We'll have that. Also, of course, the Seahawks play, I'm told, a somewhat important game on Saturday. We'll have that. We're going to play the interview I did with Nikolas and Anton Zotov of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. They got, of course, their next big production is the Nutcracker. Huge event, always sells out. They team up with the Fabulous Feet Dance Studio with Melissa and those kids, and they do the Nutcracker over the holidays at the America Performing Arts Center. Then they go back into their regular campaign, their regular schedule. In March, I believe, they have their American Tribute. So it's always good to talk to Nick and Anton. We'll have that for you in the back half of the program. Tour time. Got some cameras we haven't used in a while. Well, we use that one every day. The Wenatchee Heights camera. Once again, we have that pointed down the Columbia River towards Rock Island Dam and Rock Island proper. For most of the golf courses, even though it's unseasonably warm, we're going to be in the 50s again today. Most of the area golf courses have simply shut it down. For one thing, when it gets this time of the year, not a lot of people play golf, even if the weather is nice. And of course, you still got to maintain the golf course, but you can't really water it anymore. So I think most of the local golf courses, I mean, they're going to keep their pro shops open and things, but as far as golfing itself, they're pretty much done with it. The Badger Mountain camera, haven't used that one in a long time. High atop Badger Mountain at the very peak of the bench in East Wenatchee, looking out towards the Malaga area. I'm pretty sure on its way down toward, okay, the plane is in motion now. Please sit down, buckle your seatbelt, make sure your tray is in the upright position. There's the Wenatchee Valley. There is Mission Ridge with snow up top. Beautiful view up the Squilchuck there. And as we pan over to the valley proper. The only negative thing, there's a bird there too. The only negative thing about that camera, the Badger Mountain camera, can't really see East Wenatchee. It's just the way it is. It gets blocked by the bench, but just a beautiful view there as we look out all over the Wenatchee side of the river. Speaking of river, McNeil Canyon, which has a river, I'm sure, somewhere, but there's McNeil Canyon. Now, how's the new road? I haven't been on it yet. I'm sure it's fine. Anything was better than an old road. Of course, they ripped that out and did a whole new kind of safer way to climb the way up from between Orondo and McNeil Canyon from that old road, which was just downright dangerous for big rigs. That is Lake Chelan behind the ridge there. And 2 rivers. Looks like it's raining up Lake Wenatchee area. The 2 rivers, the White River is on your right, the Little Wenatchee is on your left. Together, they form the head of Lake Wenatchee. And of course, at the bottom of it comes the Wenatchee River. I wonder how are they past the peak color? I'm assuming so. It's the middle of November. I'm sure they're probably past peak color in that area. And that camera is still in black and white. Not light enough there for that camera to automatically switch to color. Weekend, in a word, well, mild. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee. That's where comfort, care, and community come together. 57 for the afternoon high. Again, our normal high is 45. By the way, our low temperature yesterday was 43. Our overnight low was almost the same as our normal afternoon high. Very warm weather continues to channel in from the south and the west. Not as much moisture as we saw earlier in the week, but very mild. 57. Don't see that on November 14th very often. 44 for the overnight low tonight. There's a 50% chance of rain today and a 50% chance of rain tonight. These will be hit and miss showers. Rain for a little bit, dry out, rain returns, that kind of deal. Our record high temperature on November 15th is 59. We're going to be right at it on Saturday. 58, 59 degrees for the afternoon high on Saturday. Partly sunny too, which is going to warm us up just a little bit. We're going to have nothing but clouds today, but we'll see the sunshine a little bit come Saturday. We're not going to see the sunshine on Saturday night because it's night. Overnight low about 45. Sunday, kind of like Saturday, maybe a few more clouds and a better chance of rain. Slightly cooler, high of 56. Back at it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All of these temperatures well above normal. That's just what it is. Mother Nature calls the shots. In 2 minutes, we'll find out what's making news on this Friday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. I've been helping people for nearly a decade understand their Medicare options. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand coverage options so you can feel confident in your Medicare decision. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or see me at my office in Wenatchee with easy parking and entrance.
It's fairly cloudy. It's 46 degrees. We're already a degree warmer than we should be. For our afternoon high, we'll be well into the 50s today. Could very easily set a new record high on Saturday. Lots of clouds and a little cooler on Sunday, but the big weather story is it's warm for this time of the year. Authorities in Douglas County say they have arrested a 16-year-old male suspect in Wednesday's fatal shooting of a motorist on Highway 97 north of Orondo. Under Sheriff Tyler Caoile said yesterday afternoon a police team served up a search warrant in the 1400 block of Columbia Avenue. That's in Bridgeport. And that's where the teen was taken into custody on suspicion of second-degree murder. The suspect, not publicly identified, the name of the male driver, found dead just after noon on Wednesday, also has not been publicly identified. Emergency crews were called at about 12:14 Wednesday afternoon to the scene, milepost 228, about 7 miles south of the BB Bridge, after witnesses reported an unresponsive male subject inside a vehicle. There, they found the man dead from apparent gunshot wounds. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies and partner agencies blocked off the highway for 11 miles in both directions. They blocked it off well into the overnight hours. The highway, as you might imagine, since reopened. If you have any information that may help authorities. Call Rivercom at 509-663-9911. An Ephrata man was killed yesterday afternoon on State Route 28 in Winchester. That's between Quincy and Ephrata. That's when his vehicle collided with a semi-truck and trailer that was attempting to enter the highway. The Washington State Patrol says that just before 2 p.m., the semi was turning eastbound from a private driveway onto the highway without yielding to a westbound 2016 Tesla being driven by 49-year-old Joshua A. Julian. The Tesla collided with the trailer, killing Julian. The driver of the semi, 36-year-old Louis C. Castro of Othello, not injured but faces possible charges of negligent driving. A website formed by an anonymous group of faculty and staff, well, they're asking the Wenatchee Valley College Board of Trustees not to renew the contract of its president, Famous Harrison. Harrison has been in charge of the college since 2023. His contract renewal is expected to be on the agenda during the November 19th board meeting. The website is called Concerned for Wenatchee Valley College, and it cites items like dissatisfaction among staff and the sanction from the college's accrediting body as issues that Wenatchee Valley College is struggling with under Harrison's leadership. Anonymous letters addressed to the trustees are also published on the website, and the, quote, Concern for Wenatchee Valley College group, end quote, is gathering messages to send to the board ahead of its meeting. The trustees, through board chairman Wilma Cartagena, declined to comment to us about the website. Well, Wenatchee voters could soon decide on a nearly $294 million bond measure as the school district plans to put the proposal on the November 2026 ballot. The Wenatchee School Board unanimously approved the plan on Wednesday, which would fund a new high school and district-wide HVAC upgrades. The measure will need a 60% voter approval to pass, an amount that the district narrowly missed when a similar bond failed in 2018. The current Wenatchee High School opened in September of 1972. It now serves about 1,850 students, well over its original capacity. One Wenatchee High School senior, Milani Tovar, told the board the building's lack of windows, poor air quality, and extreme temperatures makes it tough to focus.
During spring and summer months, students have to layer down just to avoid overheating in classrooms. Many classes, especially near the English wing, have had to move into the commons or even into teachers' prep rooms just to create a teachable environment. And if those two options become too full, other students go into the halls, which should never be the case. Hallways are meant to be for students to move around, not lessons should be taught in. But even then, the heat becomes a huge distraction. I personally remember having to move classrooms during an exam because it was too hot to be in. Losing valuable time and then trying to concentrate in another room is something no student should experience.
Washington State University has selected a design-build team for its plant growth facility here in Wenatchee. The job will go to Puyallup-based Asber Construction. That's a company with offices in Wenatchee, and Flad Architects. That's a national firm that has a Seattle office. Both agencies have previously worked with Washington State on buildings in both Pullman and in Richland. The $18 million plant growth facility will replace 70-year-old greenhouses. It'll also incorporate modern technology and controlled environments for new studies of plant growth, pest resistance, and environmental stresses. The university has been in the midst of a fundraising drive to help replace its aging facilities at the Wenatchee campus. They recently won $10 million for the project from the state legislature. Construction is expected to begin in the spring. The Wenatchee Valley's multi-agency police tactical team has a new ride. The East Cascade Regional SWAT Team announced this month it's purchased a Lenco Bearcat. It's an armored tactical vehicle designed to protect police officers during high-risk incidents. The SWAT team is made up of officers from the Chelan and Douglas County Sheriff's offices, as well as the Wenatchee and East Wenatchee police departments. They respond to incidents such as active shooters or carrying out risky search warrants. The four agencies partnered on the expense of the new vehicle. North Central Washington's two representatives in Congress cast different votes on the bill to end the federal government shutdown on Wednesday. The continuing budget resolution passed pretty much along party lines, 222 to 209. 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse voted with his fellows in the Republican majority to end the 43-day shutdown, the longest in this country's history. 8th District Representative Kim Schreier, a Democrat, voted no, saying the resolution ignores the need to continue Affordable Care Health Act subsidies that help pay for America's health insurance premiums. Newhouse blamed the shutdown on House Democrats and in a floor speech called their actions, quote, performative, end quote. And Chelan County PUD ratepayers who happen to be a Plaza Superjet customer, there's a lot of those, well, you can now pay your utility bill and pick up some groceries at the same time. The PUD has installed a new outdoor bill pay kiosk. It's on the Orondo Avenue side of the store. There are a few other kiosks around the county. There's one at Leavenworth, also one in Chelan. To pay at the kiosk, you check your bill, you type in your account number, your zip code, enter the amount you want to pay, select the payment type, and then take your receipt. The kiosk outside the Plaza Superjet, by the way, is available anytime you want to use it, 24/7. That's the news at 16 minutes after the hour. Not quite a weekend yet for the news crew. It's been a busy week. I haven't been helping because I've been out sick. Sorry, guys. But one more newscast to come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock before they get to take a well-deserved weekend. 5, 6, and 10 on television, or as we like to say in the business, television. If that doesn't work, you can watch it whenever you want to via our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. It'll also be up and running on our homepage. As you can see, we're on Roku, we're on Apple TV, we're on stuff. We're out there. We're cool. We have an app. News tips, news at ncwlife.com. I think I still might be a little clogged up upstairs. Going to take a break and do sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. The reliable Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor is highly capable. A smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation and versatile attachments that help you handle the job. The Kubota BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
Sports at 19 minutes after the hour. Jordan Eberle. Couple of goals. In fact, 5 goals. When you score 5 goals and break a tie in the third period, then you score an empty netter at the end of the game. We like it when we score empty netters. That means we're ahead. And the Kraken beat Winnipeg last night. The final was 5-3. Capo Keiko, Eli Tolvanen, Vince Dunn. They also scored for Seattle. Philip Grubauer stopped 23 shots, replacing the injured Joey Decord.
Yeah, it gets a little chill will in the wintertime, but it's a heck of a place to be, and lucky enough to play it in a lot of great places, but Winnipeg's certainly right up there near the top.
It was a great old barn, Winnipeg Arena. Tip chance, they score! Guess who? All night long, we'll take it. The Kraken have tied it.
Good things happen. Good cycle. Good support by Vince Dunn, and then Jaden Schwartz throws the puck to the front of the net. Standing in front of the net, stick down, presents himself, and Kaapo Kakko right between the arms and the hip of Connor Hellebuck.
Oh my, we tip our cap to Lionel Richie and Kaapo Kakko. From the point, no tip. The shot taken by Adam Larson. Here's Vince Dunn. Power move, Winterton off sticks, Dunn. He scores! Vince Dunn. Magical hands out in front. 12:33 left to go in the second period.
Along the boards. Dunn comes down, and then Winterton takes his puck to the net. And Vince Dunn follows up and goes top shelf on Connor Hellebuck. What did we talk about earlier, JT? Where does Hellebuck carry his glove? And you got to elevate that puck, and that's exactly what Dunner does. But I love Winterton taking that puck to the net.
He'll hand it off to Stevenson, who defers out to Beniers. A shot off the side of the goal. Stevenson now back again for Tolvanen. He'll move it across for Dunn. Tolvanen a one-timer. He scores! That's hockey, baby! Tolvanen with the blast, and the Kraken have tied it.
Remember, we said the pass was not in the wheelhouse? It was a little bit too far in front of him. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. He put it right on a tee. Right here for Eeli Tolvanen. A little bit of a screen by Morrissey, and a huge power play goal for Eeli Tolvanen. Heck of a play there by Lindgren.
Here comes Marchment. This way for Matty Beniers. He'll recover the puck. Marchment will carry in. A reverse hit. Marchment on Nemestikov. Here's Beniers. They score! Hey, hey! What do you say? Jordan Eberle. What a pass by Matty Beniers. And the Kraken have a 4-3 lead.
And try to shoot it. But Mason Marchment makes a great play along the wall, JT. He protects the puck. It buys some time for Matty to come over, and Jordan Eberle just sitting in the weeds in behind, gets to the front of the net and buries it to the back of the net. Outstanding shift.
Cole Perfetti shoved by Ryan Lindgren for Lardy. And now Connor, the battle with Marchment. Forked out, Beniers, Eberle, here he comes, bullseye!
Well, Mason Marchment makes a great play along the wall. Got support from Beniers, and Eberle puts it in.
When they're at their best, and they are tonight. What a night in this barn. Morrissey in tight. Grubauer says no on Connor. That's Kraken hockey, baby.
Kraken playing some pretty good hockey. They got a pretty good team coming to town. Next up, Saturday night, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Kong, the San Jose Sharks at Climate Pledge Arena. And then on Sunday, everybody can gather around the comfort of their high-definition television sets and watch the Seahawks. They're now, both teams, Seahawks and Rams, identical records, tied for first in the NFC West. They've each played 9 games. They finally get to play each other. This will be, I'm told, a big game. SoFi Stadium, it'll be on Fox, kickoff at 1:05 on Sunday. The rest of the NFC West, well, everybody's playing each other. Seahawks take on the Rams. The Cardinals host the Niners, same time on Fox. In case you're interested, and there are your standings on a very good, perhaps the best division in the National Football League. Colleges, what's going on this weekend? It looks something like this. Eastern Washington starts things going. They will host Northern Colorado on the red carpet on ESPN Plus at 1 o'clock. Central is playing some very good football. They're going to have to beat Western Oregon. They're on the road. That'll be at 1 o'clock, also on Saturday afternoon. If it's on TV, I couldn't find it. Huskies will host the Purdue Boilermakers, 4 o'clock on FS1. And the Cougars, after having last weekend off, will play Louisiana Tech. For the first time ever, they'll be hosting them at Martin Stadium Saturday night at 7 o'clock on the CW. Let's do preps. 4A football, the Moses Lake Mavericks undefeated and a pretty high-ranking seed will get things going for the local big schools. Lions Field will be the place tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock as they host, I believe, Bothell in the first round of the 4A tournament. Again, tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock at Lions Field in Moses Lake. In the 2A tournament, 1 game today, 2 tomorrow. Prosser will be at Ording tonight at 6 o'clock. East Valley of Yakima will welcome Burlington Edison Saturday at 2. Seaholm makes the long trip from Bellingham all the way to Othello. They'll kick off Saturday at 4 o'clock. In 1A, of course, Royal and Cashmere don't play. They have byes. They don't have as many teams in the 1A tournament, so the 4 highest-ranked teams don't have to play the first week. OMAC does. They'll be at Rochester tomorrow afternoon at 2. 1B football tournament begins this weekend in earnest. Wahkiakum will host Moses Lake Christian. That'll be Friday at 1 o'clock in the 1B tournament. Elmira Cooley Heartline, Crosby Stills, Nash and Young has Antioch coming to town tomorrow afternoon at 1. And in 2B football, Reardon at Okanagan tonight, at 7 o'clock. It's tomorrow afternoon at 1. Onalaska has Liberty Bell coming to town. Let's see, 2B volleyball. For Manson, they're not going to three-peat. Gave it a good shot, but no 3 in a row for the Manson Lady Trojans at the state tournament down in Yakima. Of course, they won the championship in 2023 and 2024, but their title hopes disappeared in the semis yesterday morning. They lost to Freeman in 3 sets.
She continues to deal. Dug out by Berglund. Finley Peck with the setup. And this one will go off the Manson Trojan defense, and that will do it for the Freeman Scotties, as they have swept the Manson Trojans 3 sets to none here in the state semifinals of the WIA 2B volleyball tournament.
That was yesterday morning, and then Manson yesterday afternoon lost to Lind Ritzville Sprague. The final scores there was 18-25, 15-13, 25-18, 23-25, 15-6. Manson ends up with the 4th place trophy, which who's kidding who ain't bad. Tenasket, meanwhile, kept their season alive with a 3-1 win over Onalaska yesterday morning, and despite a pretty good effort in the 5th and deciding set against Tudor Lake, Tenasket falls to Tudor Lake yesterday afternoon in 5 full sets.
This one popped up. That's Shelley. There to meet it is Lindquist. That's back across Graves. Goes quick. Spinneberg sends that over. Peyton Thrasher. Cross. That was Shelley again. Parker got under it. Spinneberg. A great dig. Thrasher keeps it alive. Graves pops it over. Defense has to get reset here. As that goes across and is somehow kept alive. Great defense here. Ramon ends up getting it over. Up goes Dean. Out of bounds. What a point for Tenasket. They tie it up. There's the serve. As this one is popped. Ball still in play. This could be the last point here. Shelley in the air. Now Thrasher over. You can tell the nerves are everywhere as these teams just pushing the ball over the net. Now Thrasher. Light touch. And across. This is Dean. Dean wins it for Tudor Lake.
It's Tudor Lake, but we won't get into that. But still a very good year for the Tigers. And now the 1As and 2As take over starting today and into tomorrow. For the Chelan Goats, they are looking for their 6th consecutive state 1A volleyball championship. They've won 5 in a row, not including the COVID year, of course. They get going this morning in Yakima. They'll take on Bear Creek in the first round. It's 10:45 this morning. Cashmere will take on OMAC, a team they're quite familiar with, in the first round prior to that at 9 a.m. this morning. And the Wenatchee Wild, of course, busy weekend. Tonight they are in Prince Albert. No, they're in Portland tonight. Then they got Prince Albert in a can coming to Wenatchee on Saturday. And then on Sunday at the Town Toyota Center, a matinee, 4 o'clock with the Winterhawks taking on the Wild. Go Wild. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's National Spicy Guacamole Day. It's World Quality Day, so this show doesn't apply. It's Operating Room Nurse Day. Different kinds of nurses who work in the surgical theater of a hospital. Different skill set, more education. Got to hand the surgeon the right instrument. But no, we're not doing any of those. Today, we're getting pickled. It's National Pickle Day. Today, the pickle, of course, is the brined cucumber. A lot of things could simply be pickled. I mean, who's kidding who? The idea is, salt, vinegar, throw it in a jar, kills the bacteria, and boom, it's pickled, whatever it is. The history of pickles goes back thousands of years in India. It was in India where cucumbers, the idea of pickling cucumbers so they could have a long shelf life, began. But the name pickle is actually Dutch in origin, which means to brine. So you get your cucumbers, and before they go bad, you throw them in the salt and the vinegar and spices, and you got pickles. And not surprisingly, because by pickling pickles, by taking a cucumber and putting them into brine and making them last a long, long time, it was sailors who could take jars of pickles on board their ships, and pickles spread worldwide. North Americans prefer pickles with warts. We're not done yet, Malcolm. Europeans prefer wartless pickles. I don't know why. About 20% of pickles are sold refrigerated. If you're in the supermarket and you see that certain pickles are refrigerated and others are not, the general rule of thumb is that those refrigerated pickles have been refrigerated from day one, and they should stay that way. We eat about 20 billion pickles, by the way, a year. And you'll find a jar of pickles in about 70% of all households. Tucker just sent me a text that means nothing to me. Now let's do Today in History. Poor J. Edgar Hoover, for years and years and years, said there is no mafia, there is no Cosa Nostra, there is no organized crime in this country. And then this happened. The famous Appalachian meeting in upstate New York, raided by law enforcement. The 5 families got together. There was one member of the organized mob, the head of Murder Incorporated, Albert Anastasia, who didn't want to get along with all 5 families, so they simply killed him and made it easy. And then the other 5 families got together at Joe Barbera's house up there in Appalachian, New York, on this date in 1957 to talk about how they're going to divvy it up. Okay, we got narcotics, we got organized. Let's see, we got narcotics, we got the unions, we got all kinds of gambling establishment, we got prostitution. Got to make sure everybody's on the same page. So they all got together, and the people up there in Appalachian said, "Man, there's a lot of really nice cars in our small little sleepy hamlet without state license plates." Most people assume that members of organized crime are pretty smart. These guys are pretty dumb. They didn't hide it very good. And of course, the local law enforcement and then state law enforcement said, "Man, you know what? They're right. There are a lot of really nice cars in our town with license plates from all over the country." And sure enough, about 100 members of organized crime all showed up together. Members of the Genovese crime family, they were all there. The cops showed up. They roped off the area. Then they arrested a bunch of people. Nobody was really caught. But for J. Edgar Hoover, yeah, it turns out there's a mob. Sorry. 55 years ago today, Southern Airways Flight 932 crashes in the mountains near Huntington, West Virginia. All 75 on board passed away, including almost every member of the Marshall University football team. NBC News from Saturday, November 15th, 1970.
Good evening. A charter jet carrying the Marshall University football team home to West Virginia crashed last night as it tried to land at the Huntington Airport. All 75 persons aboard were killed. It was the worst plane crash in the United States so far this year. Barry Serafin reports. One former player said the Marshall University football team was just beginning to show its potential when it traveled to Greenville, North Carolina yesterday to meet East Carolina University. Marshall lost, but it was close, 17-14, and the two teams exchanged congratulations afterward. It was the first time this season Marshall's football players had flown to a game. The flight home ended here on a muddy hillside a half-mile down the slope from the runway at Huntington's Airport. The chartered DC-9, flying in through rain and fog, glanced up a ridge and then nosed down, shearing off trees and exploding in flames. Everyone on board, the 38 football players, the coaches, a group of fans, some prominent local citizens, and a 5-man flight crew, died. Firemen, police, civil defense, and National Guard personnel worked through the night, combing the debris for bodies. Most of the victims were burned beyond recognition. Their bodies were taken to a temporary morgue set up in a National Guard armory, but identification was difficult. With daylight, a bulldozer was brought in to move large sections of the fuselage and motors, which remained intact as the grisly search continued. Federal investigators swarmed over the site today. A National Transportation Safety Board official said the pilot may not have known he was flying dangerously low until it was too late, because Huntington's Airport, which sits on top of a hill, has no approach radar system.
On this date in 1970, 55 years ago today, birthdays, one heavenly birthday, poor McLean Stevenson. After 3 years of playing Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake on the hit TV series MASH, left the show 1 year before his contract. They let him go because he thought, hey, I got it going now. So McLean Stevenson caught and realized later on that there's an old adage in show business. They liked McLean Stevenson, but the audience loved Henry Blake. So they did the McLean Stevenson show after he left MASH. That lasted 12 episodes. Then it was canceled. And then In the Beginning, he was the star of a show called In the Beginning. He played a priest. That lasted 5 episodes. Then it was canceled. Hello, Larry lasted 38 episodes. It was canceled. And finally, Condo, starring McLean Stevenson, 13 episodes, canceled. He later admitted, I probably shouldn't have left the show. And the King of England is 77. He was 3 years old. 3 years old when his mom became queen, and he had to wait, well, 73 years before he became king. He's king now. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we're proud to have them on board. An opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, who recently celebrated a broadcasting milestone. And then we're talking Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra with Anton and Nick. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new mid-size Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life. Now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. When NCW Life came on the air in 2016, Dan Kuntz started his show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan asked me to do this bit called Everyone's Entitled to Mike Mad Dog Magnotti's Opinion, and I've been doing it ever since. I recently checked and estimated that I have given my opinion on over 300 different topics. Who possibly could be filled with that much hogwash that he thinks it's interesting enough to share? I don't know if I want to answer that one. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
When flooding hit Serve Wenatchee, their office and Fresh Hope Market were devastated. But their mission to help prevent homelessness in this valley hasn't stopped, and neither will we. I'm Todd McLaughlin, General Manager at Apple Valley Honda. Now through the end of the year, we're donating $25 to Serve Wenatchee every time someone takes a test drive. And if you happen to buy a vehicle, we'll give an additional $100 in your name. Because when our neighbors are in need, this community steps up, and we're proud to be part of that.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Welcome back to the program. Man, it was a long time getting this interview together with these two gentlemen to my immediate right. It took a lot of emails and phone calls, and I don't feel well, and we're smoked out, and we're sold out, and this, that, and the other thing. But by golly, we're back to talk to Nikolas and a new friend of the program to talk about the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra, well into their, believe it or not, 79th season. Up next will be the Nutcracker from Peter Tchaikovsky. You can't go wrong with good material, a huge sell as always. It's my good friend Nikolas back again, the conductor and the musical director. And you are new to the program, Anton. Introduce yourself to our television family, bud.
Yes, my name is Anton Zotov. I'm a new executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. Well, and this is my first year. It's been already very exciting, couple of months. Getting to know people, learning about the community, about the supporters of the orchestra, and it's just thrilling, I would say so. Yeah, and our first opening concert was amazing. With concerts for kids, it was really exciting to see all the kids in the halls. So yes, and now we are sold out for the Star Wars concert, so it brings that level of anticipation very high.
Do you get that? You get a certain lift when you see kids enjoying classical music getting it, understanding it, enveloping themselves in the sound and the beauty of classical music that they might not even think about?
Yes, of course, because this is a part of our mission to educate, and you start with the early years. And there were a couple of teachers that came to me during those concerts, and they told me that pretty much 90% of children never attended this kind of performances before. They never saw a symphony orchestra. They've never been to a large gathering like that. And so I saw their eyes. I mean, it's a thing. So of course it gives you a sense of purpose. It inspires you to put such concerts again next year and do more things like that.
Has it been your experience, Nick, that people take up an instrument that is associated with classical music as a young person and never put it down, as opposed to being a 35-year-old plumber and a father of 3?
That's true. Yeah, the public schools have those petting zoos where they bring out all the instruments, the string instruments, the brass instruments, and they get a chance to try these different things, and they are assigned one once they pick one, and they usually carry that through the year. But I have to comment about the show that we just did. We played to 1,500 people, this Tchaikovsky Discovers America concert, and the kids were the rowdiest. I felt like a rock star. I got my selfie out, and everyone was screaming at the concert. After every single performance, every piece, they were on their feet and clapping. It was really a wonderful experience.
Why, when budget cuts come in education departments, they cut arts, specifically music, first? That drives me nuts.
Yes.
Why is that?
We have to get the A in STEM. So I'm really a proponent into STEAM, adding the arts to this mandate from the federal system that we should be teaching our students music, painting, visual arts, singing. I think this is a very important component of a young person's upbringing.
Unlocking talents that they might not know they have.
Exactly. Well, collaboration, discipline, teamwork, striving, making mistakes and persisting, grit. I think these are all the same things that we can find in music.
Well, I'm glad it went well. And of course, you can't go around with the good material of Tchaikovsky. And now the Nutcracker is up next for the holidays. Again, with I believe Fabulous Feet is teaming up with you guys again.
Yes, and we're fresh off a sold-out Star Wars concert,
Yeah.
so we're on a high. And here we are going into what usually is 5 performances of Nutcracker. We're adding a 6th performance of the Nutcracker because of how popular this has become. It's so hard to get tickets, and it's selling out so fast, and it's just a visual feast. I have to really compliment Melissa on her direction and her training and the entertainment value of the Nutcracker. It's a great tradition.
Melissa Miller-Port, she could probably do this in her sleep. She is the perfect example, and Anton can speak of this as well, of somebody who's enthusiastic about dance, but disciplined enough to get the kids to pay attention and do what they need to do, while at the same time enjoying themselves.
Yes, and you would watch her and you can tell that she has a very old school kind of strong approach to training her dancers, and they appreciate that because they are a top performing dance studio.
Nick, of course, is the conductor and the musical director. Anton does everything that Nick doesn't have to worry about, so Nick can concentrate on the music. Anton, in many respects, has a more difficult job, does he not? I'll let you speak to that, Nick.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do it.
This is a very thankless position because of all the hats you have to have, all the pots and dishes that you have in the air spinning, and no kind of overt recognition for this. So I'm very, very thankful to have Anton on our team, and what he's done in the short time that he's been here has been miraculous.
And he's a musician.
He's a musician.
So he gets it.
He gets it.
From the inside.
I think we're all in our right positions and right roles because without Nick, without his programming, without his artistic leadership, it would be pointless to be an executive director. Without musicians that are performing with us, without volunteers, that would not be possible. And of course, all the other people who are involved in production of the concerts. So yes, it is a job that requires a lot of puzzle pieces to be put together, but it also, I always consider it as a teamwork, as a collaboration between all those parties. It only works that way.
You're right. You're exactly right. And it should be pointed out that outside of the Nutcracker and the Pink Martini shows, which are done on a regular basis. Everything else is always something new.
Yes.
Every concert year is something entirely different from the year before, with the two exceptions I already mentioned. So how did you come up with this year's repertoire as far as this is what we're going to play this year as selected by Nikolas?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite processes, and this is something I do in private. It usually happens around January, where I think, okay, what can our orchestra do? Which guest artists will we want to bring? What kind of repertoire? What kind of genres? What does this community really enjoy? What would be entertaining? What would be edifying? What would be kind of thought-provoking? And so I try, in the very few concerts that we do in a year, we only do 4 core concerts a year, is to try to come up with some innovation, something that's kind of forward-thinking in each of those concerts that I want to kind of spark interest in our audience.
Well, picking Beethoven because next year, or 2 years from now, will be the 200th year since Beethoven died. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Yes.
And you can't go wrong with Ludwig, and that's some good stuff there.
Yes. I mean, I've seen the stats. The #1 composer played by all professional orchestras is Beethoven.
So you choose the material and say, all right, orchestra, learn it, learn your parts, or do you play to the strengths of your individual musicians?
And just like I look at my team, or a coach might look at their team and say, okay, I got a great kicker, I got a good quarterback, I choose my plays based on our strengths. Same thing here, as I'm looking at who are our strengths and who should we uplift, and then I go for that.
The Star Wars saga is on the 25th. It's a couple days before that as we tape this. You're getting ready to do some rehearsal. It's on a Tuesday. Rehearsal, you made a mistake, start again. At what point during the process leading up to the 25th of October where the orchestra plays the piece straight through, mistake or no mistake, to get ready for the big night on the 25th?
That's right. Right now we're in that breakdown kind of a situation where I'm really stopping often to correct and to diagnose and to make things better. But Saturday morning at our dress rehearsal is a time where we do the whole thing straight through to really understand, okay, how's our endurance? Can we just get past our mistakes if we maybe make one of those? Do this as a mock performance.
Do you occasionally have an individual musician who will stop himself and say, Nick, I blew that one, I missed a note, but if you don't catch it, they won't say anything?
Quite the opposite, actually. They will challenge me to hear it, right. Otherwise they will hide.
You're both pianists. You've since forgiven your parents for forcing you to take piano lessons, which is good for you. Yeah. When you're not working as a professional conductor and a musical director, and I'll ask both of you, what do you listen to just for pleasure? Classical music for pleasure, just to enjoy the art that is classical music. What do you listen to?
Yeah, right now I'm listening to movie soundtracks, and so not only am I listening to John Williams, I'm listening to Max Richter, I'm listening to Hans Zimmer, because these composers have very, very interesting soundscapes that we've never heard before. Some electronic music, some synthesized music, the bending of pitches, more atmospheric, dramatic music that we don't often see on a classical music stage. So I've been really interested in soundtracks.
Same question for you, Anton. What do you listen to just for pleasure?
For pleasure? EDM music, especially when I'm driving somewhere in nature. In my car, I like that. In fact, I got into EDM music about 3 or 4 years ago, when I got a car with an old-fashioned CD player with 6 CDs stacked in, and I started buying those.
So the previous owner left them in the CD player?
No, no. I just got it there, and I started purchasing CDs. I've never done it before. So, but anyways, it's yes, I like electronic dance music. I like our Washington-based Odessa. I like Armin van Buuren from Europe, stuff like that. I enjoy different kinds of genres. I do enjoy some of pop music, something like Lana Del Rey, Lykke Li, some of Oliver Arnalds, that's from Norway, more of a neoclassical composer and artist. So I like jazz. I like attending opera.
So essentially what I'm getting out of you is if it's good, you like it.
Yeah. Yes. If it's unique, I like it.
Let's hear it from music snobs like the three of us.
Yeah, if it's something valuable, whether it's lyrics, music, performance,
I learned a long time ago you can't run a record store and make a profit on your own good taste. No. Sometimes you have to sell albums and CDs that you wouldn't listen to in 1,000 years. The Nutcracker, the 11th through the 14th, as Dick said, extra shows this year. Pink Martini will sell out the 24th and the 25th of next year. America the Beautiful, obviously, that's a self-explanatory. And then their tribute to Beethoven in April, which closes out the season. Last question for you, Nick, it's important. Musicians come, musicians go. What is your needs and your wants from an orchestral leader standpoint to keep this incredible organization up and running?
Yeah, we hold auditions every year, and I think in terms of our local musicians, what we call seated musicians, we're at our highest membership, which is remarkable. And we're drawing from Yakima, we're drawing from Chelan, we're drawing from Moses Lake. We could use some more violas. So if you're a violist out there, give me a call.
I find it amazing when I go to the shows and I look out and I look into the third row on the right and I go, that's my dentist, and he's playing an oboe. Who the hell thought that?
Exactly.
Nick, Caoile, it's good to see you. Anton, thanks for taking some time out. I've always appreciated visiting with you guys. Let's do this again real soon.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, and I'm serious. Nutcracker, Pink Martini, America the Beautiful, the Beethoven Troupe, they're going to sell out. Don't dink around. Wenatchee's a last-second town. We all know that. You're not going to be able to get up and just buy a ticket and walk in. Ain't going to happen because we got talent here. And we got Anton and Nick, who kind of is the glue that holds the whole thing together. Have a good rehearsal tonight. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No three putts.
Okay, all right.
Promise me. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
Birthdays, office gatherings, and team parties taste better at Abby's. From our legendary lunch and Thirsty Thursday to our monthly Giant Special, there's always a reason to gather. Family-owned Abby's, your legendary pizza tradition. You asked, and it's back at Abby's. 2 legends, 1 pizza. Half pepperoni, half big Hawaiian. All delicious. It's mouthwatering, loaded with toppings, and happily feeds a family. Order at abbys.com before this legend disappears.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Didn't mention this at the start of the show. If you're heading into the mountain passes this weekend, we got no real problems at all. It's going to be mild up there, too. They're going to get some light snow, but nothing really to get worried about, even at the highest of the mountain passes, of the major mountain passes, I should say. They don't really, no problems at all up there. It's warm everywhere, and look at the afternoon high today. 57, a little rain this morning, a little rain tonight. Fairly dry during the middle part of the day. 57. Our normal high is 45. We're already at 46. If we get to that 58-degree mark on Saturday, that would tie the record high for November 15th. That's very mild for this time of the year. Heck, our normal overnight low is freezing. We're not even going to get to that for the overnight lows. So the weather story, warm, very warm. Have a good and safe weekend. Take us along. We're portable. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.